All right, everybody. How's it? Oh, Lyric, you look so cute. How's everybody doing today? Uh, what's up? It's Sai, being joined with Lyric, aka Lyric of Wisdom. Welcome to the CECC West Invitational. We are now going to be kicking off the Smash portion of the event. Lyric, how are you feeling today?
I am so excited because every single time I cast Collegiate Smash, it's like a box of chocolates. You really never know what you're gonna get. So honestly, Sai, I am super excited to be casting with you for the first time, especially as well. I know we've seen each other at some events, and now we're finally get to casting together, which is gonna be awesome. I love the cat in the background as
Oh,
well.
he
That
hopped
is
up there right on time. Yeah, he's so
perfect.
cute. Yeah.
Paid
Yeah.
actor, by the way.
Right, paid actor. But yeah, we've Lyric and I have done the equivalent of passing each other in the high school hallway for casting for a long time. But we're going to be getting right into this. So we have Sac State and Neumont. Again, I was looking through the player data. There weren't a lot of players that I recognized right away, but I'm excited to see this go down. We've got Plant and Rob. I never have any thoughts on a Plant player. They're either going to be outrageously good or they're going to be still kind of like learning, but there's no middle ground. I've never seen a just okay Plant. It's either somebody that is extremely dedicated or they're like, oh, this character's funny. And
Yeah,
it's weird.
this character is funny is definitely a lot of people's mindset for Smash Ultimate. I feel like, there's no such thing as like a 100% cheese-free character, right? It's
No.
Ultimate, it's naturally cheesy. And
Hmm.
especially with Plant, who is actually pretty heavy. I like to say that there's a lot of soil in the pot. Uh,
Yeah.
Heavies will actually have a lot of an easier time with a character like Rob than anything else, but it looks like Sora knows a little bit about some of the gyro
Oh, Lord.
combos, getting a nice little snipe right there. We saw it a little bit before with the fair and potentially going for the rotary arms off the side.
Mhm.
So far for Sac State, this is looking pretty good, but I do think Piranha Plant can bring this back. You do have to charge up a little bit more of like that acid cloud, but I do think if you don't really know Piranha Plant's neutrals, like neutral special or
Mhm.
just the general neutral, this matchup could be hard, but so far Sacramento State playing it pretty well.
Yeah, I think in my professional opinion, he landed almost every move Rob had in that first stock. So Scruffy's gonna.
Woo!
Oh no, Scruffy getting tagged by that dare. Gyro at the ledge is so tricky for a lot of characters to deal with. Plant's recovery isn't bad, but in this specific matchup, he's really susceptible to those early gimps
Oh,
as we're seeing. And these
oh
Rob
my
combos.
god.
He's
Gross.
desperately just trying to fly away and find some answer. If anyone is just tuning in, by the way, this is a crew battle format. So the stocks lost are going to carry over into the next match. But so far, it looks like Sac State is in a prime position to take this first game without losing any stocks, unless Scruffy makes a miracle comeback play right now.
Yeah, the down throw I'm gonna have to disagree with. I actually feel like the back throw would have been a little bit more of a guarantee. Patui not gonna be able to connect there. Do like the down special though, at least just trying to bait it out just a little bit. But
Hmm.
they're both looking for the same thing. They're both looking for their back airs because they're so good. Back throw
Oh
is
yeah,
gonna
they're
be
so
that
strong.
option there. No follow up with the Patui as well. So now here we go. Sac State. Honestly, an up throw at this point, or even that up smash is definitely going to take a Piranha Plant. While heavy,
Nice.
okay, gonna be able to live that trade.
All right, he does win that trade with Patui, and that is one of the things. Even though Piranha Plant's disadvantage is really weird, Patui at a disadvantage is probably one of his best. He's dead. Is probably one of his best options in general for that character. Like it's not quite Snake Grenade, but like it's one of those
Yeah.
things where you do have to respect it. And in that high percent situation, it did net him that one stock. Which again, even if you can only take one stock, it looks like that raw player was really talented. So hey, that one stock could mean a ton. And people run crew battles differently. Some people like to put their anchor forward
Right.
and start there, a lot of momentum. Some people like to start with like their do it the opposite. You never really know what the other team is thinking. Hopefully for Newmont, that was their anchor. I'm not sure, but yeah, but yeah, that started off pretty strong for them. And I know we're only gonna get to see a few of those stocks, and this is pool, so it's round robin. So we're kind of just seeing like a glimpse of these players. But Plant has a lot of tricks in his bag. I think that character. I don't think they're amazing, but they definitely have like utility. Like you were saying, it
Mhm.
is a very cheesy game. There's always something, and there's always something. Batui being one of those things. The poison cloud has a lot of
Yep.
potential against Rob because they do like to linger around the ledge. And you saw
Yep.
him; he did try it, but then the Rob player was just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get on faster. Not really. Yeah, the Rob was just playing really, really, really well, and I don't think he could adapt to that pace. Just
There
saying.
was a very specific combo. It was gyro toss nair. He did it literally across the stage, and
Hmm.
especially on a character like Rob, that's gonna do a lot of percent. Now, granted, once again, we were talking about this. Plant is a much heavier character, is going to live a lot longer than a lot of the princess weights might live,
Princess
but
Wade.
yeah, they all weigh around the same thing. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah. Yep.
So
The Zelda just popped out, huh,
just
Lyric?
yeah. What
But you're
makes you say that?
right, right, right. But no, you're totally right because he got hit with a rotor at like 130 at the ledge. But
Yeah.
Plant is one of the heaviest characters in the entire cast, so he lived it, and I was just like, most people died right there. Like most
Yeah.
people, Princess Wait for sure. That
Yeah.
was a stock loss.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, I will say one thing I noticed when I'm working these collegiate events. Rob is so popular, which isn't different than the real meta anyway. But like Rob and Cruz is just so outrageously good. You have a character that has he actually might be one of the best Cruz characters. Now that I'm really thinking about this because I see him so much. But like he has crazy zero deaths, but he
Yep.
doesn't need them. He's super heavy, so it's
Yeah.
hard for him to lose those stocks. He's got crazy frame data, so he can like
Mhm.
box with the people that will like rush him down. Gyro at the ledge sets up for like a lot of surprise lost stocks, like even because I think he died at like 80, which is not a percent you normally see a plant die at, but he got tagged
True.
by like Gyro Dare. Rob gotta be a top 5 cruise character free at this point because
Yeah.
he just does everything, but he also lives forever. So it's just the best of both worlds in this exact format.
Yeah. The crew battle format I feel like is actually like died out throughout the years in terms of like its popularity. And now
Yeah.
it's only Collegiate that has really kind of honored it, which is very odd because the Smash community really kind of started to get its popularity like back in the day off of crews just being formed like between players, and then crew
Hmm.
battles were, super popular with between regions, and then it just all
Hmm.
kind of fell apart. Now, this character has been kind of the talk of the town lately in the Smash community, especially the Shotos and, of course, the fighting game representatives. I actually think this is a great pick into Rob, even though Terry is a little bit more susceptible to being edge guard.
Hmm.
I think you need a character that's going to hit hard at this point, especially when you're down now a couple stocks.
Yeah, I agree with you. But this character, so we were saying that Rob is really heavy, but Terry has a lot of knockbacks, but he also isn't really shy in the damage department too. Like if you get tagged by like one of those jabs or one of those down tilts, you're gonna be eating 30 like every time, you know. And if he's able to survive past those really early kill percents with like gyro drop nair and a side B, like if he's able to get out of that window and actually gets in the go, that could be really good in this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I do think Town and City may be a better pick for Rob than it is for
Agreed.
Terry, just because of the rotary arms off stage. We already saw that Neumont, the Rob player here, can really just kind of take and kind of run with those rotary arms off stage. And especially on a smaller stage like Town and City, this is definitely
Mhm.
not where you want to go. You're going to live the high ground, but Bird Knuckle almost going to take that stock there too. So far, this pick is working out, but I'm waiting for Newmont to kind of land here and start to get the onslaught. The rising tackle is
Ooh.
actually going to take it, so our Sacramento State looking really good on this game too.
Oh yeah, I love the Terry play we're seeing so far. I like that situation where the Rob is being pressured in the corner and he did 2 jabs and just kind of waited and backed off. Like you can tell he's really good about not overextending his advantage state, which is a rare find in an FGC character just because you really can just go dumb and just do whatever and a lot of the cast can't punish you. But the fact that he's actively looking at me like, you know what, I don't want to get punished for this, or especially that up B snipe he caught earlier, like he's
Yeah.
very aware of what his opponent wants to do and he seems like he's pretty good at conditioning. Oh, and then he just threw that up smash out. But anyway, it seems like he's pretty good at conditioning.
Yeah, for sure.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
the power guys are not going to be able to connect here, but you know what Sacramento State is looking for. Go for it again, unfortunately. So now
Mhm.
let's see how they're going to be able to recover. The down air was there, but just not in time. Rotary arms, though, going to pick up the slack. And now, honestly, Sacramento State just has to find a way to land. There it is, the up tilt power geyser. And we're evened right back upside. This is why I love Collegiate Cruise. You never know who you're going to get.
You never know. You were perfect. It is a box of chocolates. You do not know. Nougat, caramel, peanuts, Terry. I don't know what's going to be in here. But that Terry was really, really, really smart. And the Rob player was doing a really good job of like pressuring him and like keeping him near the corner and trying to find a way to kill him. He had the right idea with the side B. It was just facing the opposite direction. I
Yeah.
think he would have taken the stock and been okay. But may have been spot dodge cancel power
Yeah,
geyser or up tilt.
I
I
think
can't I
so.
can never tell because they look
It
so
was up
similar.
tilt. It was up tilt
It was
geyser.
regular
Yeah,
up tilt. Okay.
yeah. It's just because up tilt sends you at like such an angle, right? And especially if you don't
Mm.
like immediately jump as soon as possible right out of it, it just confirms because power geyser goes like the hitbox is like this man, like huge, huge,
Like
huge.
it's like you see that big animation, you're like, dang, and then it might be like
Yeah.
a little bigger than that. Like it really
Yeah.
might be more than that. Like it's crazy. They said all the DLC is located right here. This
Yeah.
this is the area where the DLC. That's where we put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they even things back up really well,
Mhm.
and it's crazy how big the gap felt between the Rob and the Plant player, and then the
Yeah.
Terry made it look like there's a big gap there. So are we just gonna keep seeing like our players just gonna keep coming in with like multiplied skill levels back and forth? Are we gonna see some PGR stuff by round three? Because I love how like the skill gap is just uh rapidly increasing. We're only 2 rounds into this.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, to go back to what you're saying about crew battles, you're right, and it makes me sad because I love crews. It
Yeah.
should be at more majors. Like when we were at Collision, was there a crew battle thing that happened at Collision? I don't think so. That sucks. I love crews. I
The
love
last
crews.
the last crew battle that happened on a main stage was pre-pandemic at Let's Make Big Moves, which was like one of the last majors, and it was
Hmm.
Tri-State versus the World at that point. And it was a lot of players from like the South mixed up with some players from Europe and some players from Japan. And that was the last time we actually saw crews. I actually think crews are just like an eensy weensy bit more popular in Melee, but I still think the collegiate scene right now is dominated by crews. It makes sense because you want as many players to play as possible. Doing that
Hmm.
in a tournament setting, in singles at least, is not exactly, that great. But here, like you were talking about, we get to see so many more players and a couple more strategies as well. So I
Yeah, yeah.
love I love sending in Rob first, like you talked about, very, very kind of like stable gameplay with like the ability to stop tank, the ability to kind of like steal away stocks. And I feel like a lot of the times people don't think how deep crews can actually go. I know for me at least, in some regions in Tri-State, they like to run crews as like a side event for like a post Arcadian bracket, which is kind of funny.
Oh,
Like,
that's super. That
yeah,
sounds
which really
so hype,
it
actually.
is kind of hype. And then like some side events at other tournaments, and just picking people based off of the characters that they play is very interesting because the
Hmm.
last time I saw a crew battle, I saw Beast pick a Toon Link, a Byleth, a Min Min, and
What a
and another
cast.
character. Yeah. And it wasn't they weren't the better players, which was very funny. For me, it's just like you didn't go with like the Steve player that usually like gets top 2 at this tournament. And he's like, nope,
Hmm.
I picked the best players for a crew battle, and he ended up winning. Okay, Robin, a character that we have not seen on a stage in too long. Sai, what do you think about this character where Robin is in the meta right now?
Actually, have like a way more information about Robin than I should. My static doubles partner, he lives in Florida now, but he's a Robin main, and then so I played a lot with and against him for the years he was up here, and also we saw Angel popping off at maybe it was Coinbox, I think, like Coinbox 7, whatever one I was on.
Mhm.
So I happen to know a lot about Robin. I think this character is underrepresented, but a lot better than people think. That's my
Yeah.
thought process.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know the matchup either. Granted, there's some characters like even like Terry, for example, where they can straight up be outclassed, but Robin is. I would not sleep on that character. Like Levin Sword Neutral Air is such a crazy powerful edge guarding tool that people don't know until they experience it. They're like, oh, I'm actually like dead right now because I got drop zone nared at like 55. Like this character has a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
Their neutral isn't super duper scary once you understand it, but they're very tricky. They're very tricky. Oh wow, the book coming in for them.
Yeah, speaking of tricky, the book actually coming in and separating. I love the rising tackle to kind of poke our friend Omar off, but the landing fair with the Levin sword, once again, as you were talking about, Sai, this character is much more complex with the dash attack, just the run in. We are even right now in terms of stocks, but now here comes Terry. We know what this character can do. It's very interesting about Robin because I feel like Robin is a deeply complex character, But I feel like Robin is such a pain in the side for a lot of heavy characters just because of that arc fire bridge that you can essentially do. I call it the Stairway to Heaven, how you can
Oh yeah,
essentially just
yeah.
combo like 3 arc fires in a row, going for the down air there, which would have been sick, but unfortunately for Scruffy here, Sacramento State just not finding it. I also love the tackles underneath over the PK fires.
Oh yeah, they're definitely playing around their neutral really well. They're putting on a lot of pressure. Omar is just barely living this. It started off really strong for them, especially being able to kill them before go was a problem. But they're way behind now. Oh, but that Nosferatu is going to be huge. The crazy thing about that move is, of course, the bigger the gap in your percents, the more you're going to heal and the more they're going to take. So even just one of those made like a 40% window that they didn't have before, and now they're already just about back in the game. And they also lived that burn knuckle that they would not have lived, 15, 20% higher. So despite as well as it was going for the Terry, things are pretty much even once again. But a burn knuckle, down tilt burn knuckle is going to come through. And now this is where it gets dicey. Terry's not at super duper high percents. He's got go on lock. And as long as he plays around Robin's neutral tools, he can get a ton of damage in just 1 or 2 exchanges. Even that failed combo still gave him like 27%. And he's dead. Holy crap.
Doesn't matter. Jeez. I love how Sacramento State came down from the Angel platform. And they were like, okay, like, let me just try and get something. So they accidentally turned the power geyser to the left side, so it didn't end up working, but they picked up the combo once again and then just completely shattered Neumont, just sending them all the way down. And at that angle, even with Robin, who I think has a decent recovery, not the best one in the game, but it still gets you a lot of height, there was no way you could have predicted the DI on that one, and there was no way you were coming back.
Yeah, it was really just the perfect storm. I think had that match continued to go at a slower pace, it could have definitely been lended to Robin's favor. Like if there was, this isn't fun for the opponent, but if there was like a lot of camping going on, that could have been tougher. But because Terry stayed really aggressive, as you pointed out, Terry did a really good job of playing around Arcfire, which is the main tool where Robin gets scary, is Arcfire, like both in neutral and at the ledge. Like there's a lot that comes out of it, but Terry was kind of just barreling through it, literally with that shoulder charge. And then the last stock was just, it was just a zero death basically. It was just 2-3 exchanges and they were just gone. And it wasn't even from like a go specific thing. It was just like, oh, I got this read, bam, like you're done.
Yeah, you're done for.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in that matchup for Robin, but Terry didn't care, so it just didn't matter. Like,
yeah, very, very true.
Yeah.
Very true. So if you guys are watching for the first time how these crew battles work, it's essentially 3v3. So it's a best of 1 3v3. So 2 players have already gone down. So there's 1 player, 1 anchor left. It is also a best of 1. So the winner will proceed on. And the loser will unfortunately not be in the qualifier to go on to Atlanta tomorrow, which is super exciting. Once again, thank you to Esports U and CECC for giving college players, especially, the opportunity to even travel for Collegiate Smash. Because once again, Collegiate Smash is not something I feel like gets the, how do I say this? The proper support for how many people are actually like involved in it. Go with Marth. Oh man,
Marth as the anchor is really interesting. This is, I'm not gonna say anything about this player's skill until I see them play.
Yeah.
Or really just generally, but like if your Marth player is your anchor, I'm expecting to see something insane because Marth is either like super, like you'll see a player like Ignace do some crazy stuff. You're like, oh, is this character relevant? And then you'll see like 5 minutes of Marth not working. You'll be like, nah. But like Marth being the anchor lends a lot of faith that they're probably gonna be pretty well rounded and pretty well researched with this character.
Yeah, for sure. I think Marth is like one of the lesser talked about characters right now. I think it's always been a conversation of, quote, how good is Marth, right? I mean, his counterpart, his Echo Fighter Lucina, has always just been better in terms of meta, in terms of hitboxes. But, you know, there are some people that really, you know, sing the praises of this character, that Marth is high tier and that Marth can do some certain things. So once again, we never sleep on the Marth players anymore until we kind of see what they're all about. And so far, what I really like is some of these Nair jump-ins. It's very Melee-esque, right? Like just the spacing game, but the rising tackle is definitely going to take it. So far, honestly, our friend Scruffy the Terry here has been the MVP. But definitely not impossible for our friend on the Marth here.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he started to panic a little bit. He went for a little bit of a wild up smash there, and then he got rising tackle for it. There's been 1 or 2 opportunities where I think if he adjusted the spacing a little bit, he could have like cleaned up a stock a little early.
Ooh!
Great up B, great reversal on that edge guard attempt. That was absolutely mandatory to keep his team alive in this.
Yeah, I think also you just can't let Terry run around with Go Meter just, you know, having a blast and doing whatever he wants to, because honestly, it's so deadly, but it doesn't even matter. Down tilt into grab, going for the burn knuckle too. So smart from Scruffy here. Gonna be able to crack shoot right on in, but I love how Jami's not giving up. I mean, it's so hard, especially as Marth, because Marth really isn't a KO early type of character like Terry is.
They're either going to kill you at 40 or 170, and you don't know which one it's going to be.
Not even. And now, honestly, it's just a battle of who's going to be able to get the confirm first. Tipper or Go Meter, back air, not going to be able to take it. Here comes Scruffy. Let's see what the option is. Going to play it safe underneath the platform, going for the dash attack, not going to be able to find anything else.
All right. It looks like Jamie, I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. Oh, dang. He's at 1 last stock, and Terry's got go. This could all be over if he's not playing perfectly right now. But it looks like he does a good job of adjusting to Scruffy's spacing. We're seeing him like kind of like run backwards from crack shoot, and it looks like he's anticipating where his opponent's going to be, but he's not calling it out with hard enough punishes. And that's something that Marth, that's somewhere where Marth can be terrifying. Great F smash, though. Gonna keep Sac State alive with just 1 stock left. They're gonna have to take the next 3, and with Marth again, unless you are playing like crazy, I am in the Matrix level perfect spacing, this is kind of a big uphill battle.
Yeah.
But yeah, even in that situation where it's like both players have, you know, high percents, and when it was 2 stocks apiece.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, if Marth spaces something really well, he can get a kill now. But with Go, you don't need that kind of accuracy. You just have like really scary moves that confirm from really safe up close scary moves.
Yeah.
So like,
honestly, it's so true. You know, it's funny that you're talking about like Marth making a comeback, because remember, MK Leo played Marth at one point. Just, you know,
I would love to see Leo bring the Marth out. Actually, I would love to see Leo try that again.
I mean, he did it with Corrin, and some people say that Corrin is worse than Marth. So maybe a Genesis play.
Corrin versus Marth, who's worse? Let's have a mid off. Let me see. Corrin versus
It's
Marth.
so true. I actually think Corrin is better than Marth. I think
really,
just not to even like detract this away. I know Corrin's been on like the minds of everybody in Smash Bros right now. Corrin's up air,
super good,
insane. Corrin's
super
back
good.
air, insane. KO's super early, has a ton of knockback. Corrin's Nair as well is a huge hitbox, and it goes in a circle, while Mart's kind of goes in like a back and forth type beat. So I don't know. I think Corrin's got that just because of hitbox wise, but once again,
I can give it to Corrin.
Tipper's so good. It's so good.
It's like Tipper is the main thing that we're afraid of, but we don't see it often. I don't see it often enough to stay afraid of it. That's what it is. Like if I were seeing a Tipper every other match, even just 1 Tipper every 2 matches, I'd be like, dang, okay, that's something to worry about. But like you just don't. And then Corrin, you're right, their neutral might be a little bit safer. Like Nair, I think is only like -4 on shield, which is really, really good considering how much like air drift they have when they're doing it. Like if they're spacing it well and they're spacing away, you have like literally 1 frame to do something about it, and you're not gonna win that. So yeah, I didn't get to watch. It was Delfino something, right? The tournament in Mexico. I didn't get to watch all the matches yet, but I just want to say, I've already tweeted it, but I'm going to say it again. I love that everyone was trying to come for Leo's neck, being like, you need to pick a top tier if you want to keep winning majors. And he said, okay, I'm actually going to pick a much worse character and then win a major. Yeah. Like, it feels like he's playing worse characters out of spite because he is that good.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how top level Smash is going right now, because I feel like there's such a tug of war for not even who's 1 or 2 or 3, because I feel like we got that right. We have Leo, Spargo, Tweak in some order. You know, some fans will say otherwise. But then it's really all about the top 10. Oh my god, my favorite character on the planet.
Hero's your favorite character on the planet?
Hero. Hero is such an interesting character, especially as an anchor. Yeah, because Hero's so goofy. Like all of the DLC side is goofy. Like
They're all goofy.
they're all goofy, and while some characters are cool, inherently their playstyles are all goofy, but it doesn't even seem to matter to Jami right now, just already pushing the hero to the side with these fairs, which are spaced very well. But speaking of space, the Zapple is going to be a pain in the butt. F Smash already going to come out. The oomph is here too. Honestly, one more of this and this could be over.
Oh,
now,
it's
here's
looking
the
about
question.
over. Oh no,
Who
that's
do you get
guaranteed if
back?
it hits. Okay. All right, threw the thwack away. I don't know if he was looking for like a mix up there, but I love that both these characters are gambling, but
No! Okay, he made it back.
not Metal Slash. Oh no, not the Metal Slash for no reason. Oh
The
my
meter.
lord, he is swinging.
The meter. It's just all meter. Just what can I get off the meter here? Back throw is gonna be the option though. Okay, going
Yes.
to the thwack
Yep.
again, gonna be able to find it, and that is going to be Neumont taking it over Sacramento State with one player left. Once again, Hero's so goofy, so funny.
I have so many thoughts on Hero, and none of them are even remotely kind. But I think it's funny to put Hero as your anchor because just like we're just
Yeah.
gonna see what happens.
That's
I don't
the
think
wheel of
anything.
fate.
It's really the wheel of fate. Even though Thwack automatically killed him, I would say that by Hero terms, nothing crazy janky happened that match.
Mhm.
But they were definitely both just like, all right, we're just gonna roll the dice, see what happens. We got like the diet gambling, and we have like the full on let it ride. I bet the whole mortgage on this character in Hero. But I think Hero is an absolutely insane character. I love his the pressure he's putting on. Like there are all those smash stacks and one metal slash, which is just funny to me. There was all that pressure going on at the ledge, but as soon as Marth had to kind of like float back in and Thwack was on the menu, it's just like I don't know what the play is here. Because
Yeah.
Thwack is enormous. You can try to be like, let me just drift towards the ledge. It will still hit the ledge. If it
Yep.
two frames, you die. And if you're air dodging in, it's pretty active. Like that's a rough move to like that being the last stock in the last situation that decides if your team is going to go on the crew battle, and you're looking at a thwack and you're at 130. GG, shake my hand. Like
Yeah,
that's just
the sweat. The
that's
sweat.
just oh my god, that's unfortunate. But that was Neumont. I'm so sorry.
Yep, that was Neumont.
All right.
It was Neumont taking it, and they are going to be advancing on. Their round 2 is actually the University of Hawaii at Manoa. So I think that's the team. Correct me if I'm wrong, production, but I'm pretty sure that is the team. Let's talk about Hawaii, like as a region, because Hawaii has given kind of birth to one of the best Smash 4 Ultimate players, I think, of all time. And that
You
is
could
Void.
argue one of the best video game players of all time.
Yeah, it's very true. Void is very talented. And their roster, from what I can see, is absolutely massive. And once again, I'm just going to bring it back to the North American Smash players only care about their like sub-regions and their just like entire regions, and then they don't really care about anything else. But I heard that the Hawaiian scene is absolutely huge. Is just so big. So there's a lot of players on this roster. If I could like quickly count,
Oh my lord!
like
you weren't
over
kidding.
10, like over 10, which is great. So once again, I'm excited to see, because I actually don't know any of these players. So I want to see exactly what's going to be coming out, because we already saw 2 DLCs in a Rob. We saw Piranha Plant. We saw
Hero.
Robin. We saw Marth. It really just kind of it could go any which way possible at this point.
And that's the cool thing about this game. Like you have your characters that off the top of your head, you're like, I know they're meta relevant, but even the least quote meta relevant character in this game has something. Like as we just saw with Corrin, who I don't think wasn't meta relevant, but like due to popularity wasn't meta relevant, So it literally could be a huge gamble, but I'm excited. And also, I don't know if Hawaii is going to start running big stuff again. I know there was a
I want them to. I want them
them
to.
I know there was a huge disaster event a couple years back that wasn't Ultimate related.
Classic. Some of our offline events have the worst lore. Can I just say, like, as somebody who's been in this community for such a long time, we have been put through the gutter when it
You
comes
know what?
to some events.
Lyric, I just remembered something. Were
Yes.
you at Apex
2015.
I was
How
there.
did I know?
We were both there. Yes. That
What a
was the first
bonding
time we met.
experience.
Yes.
What a bonding experience for anybody in the Smash community at that time. For those of you
Oh,
who may not know, uh, to a lot of how do I say this? A lot of FPS, a lot of FPS majors. They have some amazing production. They're played in Madison Square Gardens and specific
mhm.
events and Smash players. We just find the biggest venue that is willing to at least have us. So in 2015, here's some fluff time for you guys. This is how you fluff as a commentator. You tell some stories. Um,
Oh,
so
sister.
we got a hotel, right? As most Smash majors were at this point at
I would use
hotels.
the term hotel loosely in this case, but
Yes,
yes,
very true. So
technically a hotel.
I'm gonna tell this story from my point of view because I actually think my point of view is really funny. So it's the morning of, day one, and pools usually start at like 8 a.m., right? Which is a very firm, like Smash time, 8 a.m. pools. A lot of the times, we get started, right? So I play my round one and I lose. And then the fire alarm starts going off, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then the fire, like, I am in the venue, and then the fire chief like comes into our room, like the tournament room, with like maybe like 25 people there. He's like, you all have to leave. And I'm like, okay, I'll go back to my room. And I was like kind of like saying it slick. I was like walking by him, I was like, yeah, I guess I'll just like go into my room. And he's like, no, you gotta leave the building. I'm like, my stuff's upstairs. Like, I'm
I
not
know
going. I'm
in
not going without
January,
my stuff.
and there is a full blizzard. There is a full blizzard
Yes,
that's
yes,
outside my
there is a blizzard outside, and because the blizzard was outside, the parking garage actually
collapse.
closed in on itself.
I
Welcome to Smash Majors.
from the room I was in, because we got there, we drove 12 hours each way. I do not know why we didn't get on the plane for this. But
Uh-uh.
we
I
took
would
a
never.
12-hour drive in a
Uh-uh.
buggy. I'm six foot
Nope.
three, crammed into a buggy with luggage, just like bent over like a croissant this entire drive in a blizzard, going up mountains to go to this tournament. Right now, your pool was at 8, mine was around like 10,
Mhm.
and and I'm in the room. I haven't even woken up yet, and I hear the fire alarm go off. I'm like, what in the world? So we all just we're waking up via the fire alarm. We're like, all right, I
Yeah.
guess we gotta go and stand outside in the cold. One of the walls for the tournament was a lot less wall and a lot more just garbage bags. You remember that one? There was a wall
Yes.
that was
Oh
just
my
plastic.
god.
So we're at this tournament. The building gets condemned after the fire alarm goes off during the tournament. So like everyone has to like evacuate the premises entirely. We have stuff. We're all like, we don't know where to go. I think this is like the
Right.
first big Smash 4 event too. So we're
It
like,
was the first big one, yeah.
yeah. So we're like, what do you mean it's condemned? What are we doing here? So
Right.
you got hit by the fire alarm in pools. I woke up to it, and
Yeah.
everyone's just scrambling trying to find stuff. Like what are we supposed to do right now? This
And
was
then
one
we
of the worst
moved
tournaments
it.
ever.
And
Hmm.
but then we moved it. I think it's one of the worst tournaments ever, but one of the biggest triumphs for the Smash community ever
Yes,
because
agreed.
we ended up moving that tournament. It was a team effort to move every single setup out of that one hotel and move it to the New Jersey Convention Center.
Hmm.
And thanks to a certain content creator who shall not
We
be
can't
named.
talk about, but
No,
also
we can't talk about.
that
Thank
person gave
you.
me a room, so shout outs to that
Right.
person for that.
And
But
shout outs to
whatever.
that person for renting out the space for us. Um, we were able to like put that tournament back together. Now, just a reminder, I was playing pools when this happened. I lost my round one, and then they were like, "All right, we're just gonna restart the tournament. We're gonna do it all in Saturday and Sunday." And then I beat the guy the next day, and he
Let's
was so tight.
go.
And he was so tight. And it
I
was
feel
so
it though.
funny. Yeah, that was a nightmare. And honestly, Smash majors have been getting better ever since because the bar has never been lower.
The bar
Um,
was low. The bar was
there-
low, you guys.
yeah.
Like literally seeing a giant like cater in the top of the parking garage during this blizzard. We're
Yeah,
just
it's like a
like,
crater of just snow.
because there were cars up there too. So I'm like, are they gonna be able to get down? Like, what is this
Yeah,
gonna be?
bless their hearts.
Oh, but
Well, that's enough for story time with Lyric and Sai. We are actually going to throw it to a break while we get the next match queued up. But when we come back, we are going to be able to see Neumont once again now go up against Hawaii. So stay tuned, go grab yourself a snack, and we'll be right back.
be right back, guys. Okay, well, everyone, interesting updates, but unfortunately, we're actually going to be signing off for the day. The teams that were going to be competing today from Colorado and from Hawaii, unfortunately, ended up both DQing. I mean, life is hard. Y'all know how it's been since 2020. Who knows what's going on? So, sadly, that's going to be all the Smash we're going to be seeing today. On the opposite stream, though, you can still check out the action from the Rocket League teams, and there's still plenty more to see tomorrow when it comes to the finals for Sunday. But Lyric and I are actually just going to be kind of heading out for the day.
Yeah, it was a pleasure for one set, but
It was very
totally
fun for that one
It
set.
was fun. It was a fun set.
You know, we saw a bunch of characters in that one set, so there's that. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for us today. Um, if anyone is watching, listening, or whatever, of course, follow me and Lyric both on Twitter, which are both both been thrown up on the screen. Um, and if you're an anime nerd, you can always check out my podcast, Shonen Chumps, which is a parody of Shonen Jump. It's very fun, very inclusive, very funny, very queer. So yeah, if you're one of those kind of people that needs a podcast, I got you. Apple, Spotify, whatever. But other than that, Lyric, anything you want to promote while we clock out early tonight?
You guys can follow me on all platforms at Lyric of Wisdom and also follow No Pause Tournaments for some fun Smash and other things action. And thank you so much for Esports U for having us. I know it was a short time, but it's always a pleasure getting invited to do cool events like this. So thank you all very much, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. See you later.
Take care, gang.
Welcome back, everybody, to the CECC Northwest Invitational. I am Keela Miles here with Cadence Pika, and we're getting ready to go into seeing who is going to be qualifying from the West for the CECC Atlanta Championships. Now, we didn't quite have everyone get on into this bracket, just because of the whole timetable, but we do have 3 strong teams remaining here in the second day. And we're opening it up with CSUMB taking on Sacramento State.
Yeah, I mean, it really is the best problem to have, right? There's too many events in your schedule. So, best of luck to the players that weren't able to make it today, but I'm really excited to see the matches that we are going to get to watch.
Yeah, and right off the bat, Sac State is a team I am quite familiar with. They've played in a couple other online collegiate leagues, and, well, the way this format works, it's going to be best of one. It's just going to be 9 stock crew battles. So 3 players, 3 stocks each. Stocks carry on between matches, and then whoever team takes the other's 9 stocks first wins.
Yeah, I love me a good crew battle. I mean, it's definitely way different from your standard meta you'll see in a tournament. A lot more counter picking involved, a lot more deciding, okay, we should send our team in this order, so this person counters X strong person on their team. We got to look out for them to counter us with person Y. It's just a whole different meta altogether, and I really love seeing a good crew battle, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's always a good time. And as I was saying, like you were saying, that 3-person format, so good for bringing player counter picks into the mix. A lot of these teams, I've seen them where they have to bring in 7-person rosters or 5-person rosters. With only 3-person rosters, these teams are only sending their best of the best in to compete with us here in the CECC West Invitational. And that right there is an exciting prospect for me, because you don't always get that. Like sometimes teams, like they've got one very strong player that they have as their anchor, or they've got 3, but no. In a format like this, you can make sure you have a very selective roster, and that is very important coming in here.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen crew battles where a person only is hanging on with 1 stock left, and they'll take 2 more people down off of that 1 stock. So it's like not just every game matters, but literally every stock counts. So the stakes are a little bit higher than what we're used to typically seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we're jumping right into it.
Yeah, we've got Sudden Janny coming in from Sac State, taking on Smurfy from CSUMB right now. And, well, we did get to see Sudden Jammy the other day on this Marth. They were one of the anchors, and they're actually repping the Sac State colors as well with their skin.
Yeah, starting off really strong already with 39% right off the bat here and pushing the advantage right now. I know the one thing Sora struggles with is being a floatier character. He does not really like getting down versus swords, so we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, well, it is actually Jammy who's having a little trouble getting down, but is able to get down to the ground eventually. But again, Sora's ground game is nothing to be scoffed at. I mean, Marth can maybe slightly outspace him with his aerials, but if you whiff that outspacing, which can happen online, you're going to eat a lot of damage with that 3-hit combo as the Sonic Blade puts Jammy off stage.
Yeah, that down smash that Smurfy did was so scary, almost popping Jammy's shield right there. Ooh, gonna go for the F smash to put Smurfy off stage here into a ledge trap situation. Ooh, gets blizzed out of the corner though.
All right. Now, here in the corner, let's see how they're able to get on back.
Okay, yep, looks like he's holding shield and trying to react to him getting off ledge with an option, but the problem online is going to be, of course, that your reactions are a few frames delayed.
Ooh. I do like the attempt at a counter right there because of the way the Sora's counter works, you can actually get that gimp where a lot of counters will just miss Marcina recoveries. As now you get the freeze right there and they wait for the timer, get the up air right out of there. The first stock goes the way of CSUMB.
Ooh, just going to run up with an up smash to take the stock himself, though. Evens it right back up.
With that?
Okay. Yeah, Smurfy really likes his spell pressure. He's going a lot between the Fire, Blizz, and Thunder.
And that's perfect for them as they're getting a lot of good shield damage in there. Run right in with Double Edge Dance, and they get that more damage, but they don't get a tech chase out of it, and that's going to hurt them a lot. I mean, Sora's ability to recover and get off ledge are, I mean, top 5 in the game. And so Marth is going to have a lot of trouble keeping Sora there. So you want to tech chase more than that with everything.
Yeah,
They just let that rip.
And that Sora F smash is going to be weirdly safe on shield. It's like you can't even drop your shield for a few frames after it hits. So it really is not able to get a punish, but going to go for a strong shield breaker. They are both just swinging for the fences right there. Uh-oh. Ooh, surprisingly drops the punish on that laggy Thunder the wrong direction.
And now you got to get off ledge. Reads the roll, but doesn't get the real punish on it. A lot of rolls right here to get out of these tricky scramble situations. The wave dash back doesn't actually get you much, even though it does get you away from the grab. But getting knocked up into the Thundaga right there, right off the top of the clouds, that's Jammy's stock.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It takes so much vertical space up that you really can't be jumping around because you're just going to die straight from that. Exactly how we saw. Uh-oh, pushing the advantage is Smurfy here, too. Yeah, that Sora side B just so difficult to punish. He can just be on the opposite side of the stage by the time you're able to drop your own shield.
Yeah, now going straight to ledge. Oh, and that's the classic Sora ledge get off option, but you get caught by it sometimes. And now Jammy, again, the ability to lay off stage, man.
Oh yeah, Smurfy is showing us exactly what kind of stalling Sora is capable of. And then, unfortunate right there, gonna fall out of the Dancing Blade because Marth is not the character he used to be in Smash 4, and that Dancing Blade does not like to confirm into the final hit. Up throw probably is not going to kill yet either because of Town being a tall stage.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, the classic Marthritis people like to talk about. Here at ledge, I mean, a forward tilt, an up tilt, they will kill. Yeah, like you called out there, up throw will not kill.
Yep, even with forward DI, still wasn't enough to kill. Uh-oh, got the down tilt here. Maybe he can get that counter he was looking for earlier this time. Nope, not going to go for it.
Yeah, I do like the lack of overcommitments. If you're just able to keep the ledge trapping going, it's nice. And that's what I say in theory, but once you get up to 190, that's when it becomes like, okay, consistency, you're finally able to get the up throw kill. But now you want one of these earlier Marth stocks that you know you're capable of getting, starts the juggle, but doesn't finish it.
Yeah, I really respect Smurfy hanging on to that last stock for as long as he did. He got a ton of mileage out of it, starting this one at basically 80 and climbing on Jammy right now. Oh no, is that going to kill? Wow. Great frame trap right there. Just the super active Thunder hitbox.
Yeah, and the fact that it carries you out as it hits you, it's like those uppies out of shield that put you closer to the blast zone like Samus. It gets so dicey every time you get hit by one of those. Oh,
especially when you're that far off to the side of the stage, it's like, where do you even DI? Because if you DI out, you're going to die off the side. If you hold in, you're going to die off the top. It's definitely an unfortunate situation to be in, but great capitalization. Like I said earlier, he really enjoys using those Sora spells and puts them to great use.
Yeah, and you called out the ledge stalling too, and a lot of people hear ledge stalling and they're like, oh, stalling. They draw on, angry eyebrows. But no, that's not what they're going for there. In this case, stalling just means delaying when it is you actually grab the ledge. Like, Sora has so many mix-ups off stage, the counter affecting his movement, spells letting him hover, up B into side B. That's a whole nother thing altogether. It means that he can choose when exactly he grabs the ledge, as opposed to other characters like Marth. You push the up B, you're going to ledge. Like, you're just snapping right there.
Yep, and Sora puts out so many safe hitboxes before coming to ledge that it's like you take 30% just from trying to ledge trap him if you're not on point with being ready to deal with those options, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So with that, with the fact that Smurfy was able to utilize those spells, utilize those ledge options, they're going to be putting CSUMB.
There we go.
There we go. Which is, of course, the California State University of Monterey Bay. But they prefer that acronym because, well, it's quite a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, especially when we're trying to do play-by-play, right?
So yeah, CSUMB is going to be up 1 stock in this crew battle. And again, this is a best of 1. Sometimes in the regular season, we do best of 3, but no. Because of the time constraints now, it is a best of 1, and it is going to be a round-robin format. So all these teams are going to be playing each other, so you want to get this early win under your belt.
Yeah, so the other 2 Sacramento State players right now, I can only imagine are saying, well, are you better versus Sora or am I better versus Sora, you know? And then they're looking further down the line to see who comes next. Very tough situation, especially if you're not super familiar with the opposition's characters and who they have coming up.
Yeah. I mean, Sac State, if we're getting confused with just CSUMB, 5 letters, Sac State could turn the entire script on us because they do have a player named Sora, presumably picking their tag before Sora was announced. And they run a pretty mean Rob. Like, they're frequently, I mean, Rob's ability to just steal stocks away makes him so valuable in crew battles. Like, even if you have 1 stock, the Rob is still a major threat. And that is why we sometimes see Sora either come in first or last as either a batting ram or an anchor.
Yep, no, that makes sense. I mean, I personally picked up Rob over quarantine because he's such a good Wi-Fi character and you weren't able to play any offline games, you know what I mean? And he is just such a menace in the meta, both online and offline. And I'm sure that we'll see that happen right now. As you said, Sora versus Sora taking place now.
Yeah, so the score is now 6-7. And, well...
Guess we weren't going to Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, I guess not. We'll call it a button check. But Sora on this Rob against the, well, actual Sora that's being piloted by Smurfy. Oh, give me 1 second. Let me get the Windex on here. But while we're looking at that, what is the sort of... What's your goal right here as Sora?
Well, are we talking as Sora the character or Sora the player?
You got me again. I'm back to continue this argument. But, like, when you're the Rob, how are you avoiding any of these... How are you avoiding getting caught in the same pitfalls that ended up catching suddenly earlier on? Like,
so personally, I think this is a kind of tough matchup for Rob. Like, I don't really think Rob loses a ton of matchups, but I do think this is a pretty difficult one, mainly because Sora's shield pressure is so good between the Nair and the forward airs on shield. And if he does get one of those hits on you, he can loop it for a very long time, and you take a lot of damage off of that. So we might see that play out right now.
Yeah, I'm expecting to, is taking away the ground game with those spells, but going in with that landing Nair. But Smurfy far outspaces it, using the disjoint that the spells provide them. But 1 Nair, that's all you need. You cover the tech with the laser.
Yeah, this pressure is on from Sora, the Rob right now. I mean... Shoot, the gyros, the fairs. You get hit 1 time in the wrong spot, and that could be your stock against Rob. So, good tech chase there.
Wrong hit right there.
Up air.
Floatiness gonna hurt you. They get the DI mix up, and they cannot survive. Smurfy's out of there, and just like that, it's an even score between Sac State and CSUMB.
Yep. I mean, the amount of times that I've heard complaints about Rob up air, my friends ask me all the time, how do you DI that move? They're like strangling me at the throat. You know what I mean? I'm like, I could not tell you. I die to it all the time from DIing it the wrong way myself. It's just literally so hard to tell which way to go. Rob himself has influence over which direction to send you. And visually, it's just very hard to see which side of his body you're on. Very broken move. I can't even deny.
Yeah, it's all about how you drift. If you get popped out of one way, you have to, like, you called it out, the DI mix-up based on how Rob controls it. And if you're caught, you pop out on the wrong side of Rob, you're DIing the exact wrong direction. And in that kill screen scenario with the kill screen freeze, you can't even change your DI afterwards. So you're like straight up.
Straight to the blast zone. Yep, one-way ticket. And I have seen some criminally early stocks off that, like 60, 80%, just way earlier than people should be dying from a Rob up air. You know what I mean? But Sakurai said, let's not change anything about Rob for 12 patches, and I am okay with that.
You know it. As now you're faced with the prospect of facing down this Rob. Now, we didn't get to see CSUMB yesterday, so it's tough to say what exactly is resting in their back pocket, but in general, what characters would you love to see coming out to face down this Rob?
The scariest characters to fight against as Rob would be like a Pyramithra, a Game & Watch, a Pikachu, basically anyone who can just keep you in disadvantage forever and take advantage of the fact that, yes, Rob is big. Rob struggles to land if you're able to parry neutral air. You know, if you're able to deal with projectile pressure with, say, a Foresight or with projectiles of your own or a counter like Game & Watch has. Honestly, if someone has a pocket Game & Watch, that is a terrible matchup. Don't even get me started.
Oh, yeah. Pocket Game & Watch. I think Game & Watch is probably the best pocket character to have. Because it's not, I mean, he's difficult, but he's not tremendously difficult, like, compared to the rest of the cast. Like, even if you're not getting, 70% off of one Nair, you're still going to be playing the Game & Watch's strengths, and that's what we'd love to see. Is, again, we don't quite have CSUMB's full roster, so I'm excited to see what else they bring to the table. That's why we're doing all this speculating, everyone in the audience.
Either way, though, I mean, Rob is a character that can get blown up by anyone, and he can blow up anyone. Now, this is unfortunate, though, because your gyro is basically off the table in this matchup. So definitely going to see Pocket come out as soon as Sora decides to use down B, and then it's probably going to be going for the rest of the game. Getting a little bit of lag, though.
So, for the moment, it's going to be the Cadence and Keela Miles podcast as we try and figure out what just happened there. If they all just got disconnected or it just was us getting booted from the lobby. But either way, at least we have something to talk about. You talked about the gyro being gone from that matchup, but in general, I mean, with just the laser left, how do you feel Rob does in that range game?
Yeah, so a lot of people will just accept their losing gyro in that matchup and then take advantage of the fact that laser isn't going to get pocketed, you know what I mean? And just use that for all the space it takes up. I only like to play Rob because, crazy gyro combos go burr and it makes my brain happy. But I think your up tilt can still cover a lot of space. I think your forward air can still cover a lot of space. The problem is going to be Villager's slingshot, honestly, because you don't really think about it this way, but it is such a big disjoint. The Villager can put that thing out from so far away and you're not anywhere near him. It's very, very good zoning, and honestly, Villager already has anti-zoning tools, so he's like the anti-zoner zoner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we are just going to be getting them to restart. Since we got kicked right at the beginning of the match, there wasn't even a percent done. We're just going to get right back into the match as soon as we can. So everyone in the audience, I appreciate your patience as we're getting all these kinks worked out as early as we can so we can just move on through this bracket instead of, trust me, we've had it before where it's last hit, last stock, we're getting into it and it disconnects and there's nothing we can do except say, thanks, Nintendo.
Yep. Thank you, Nintendo. Very cool. Fix your game, please.
Yep. But while they have not, we're doing our best to get you all through this. As again, it is going to be this Rob versus Villager matchup that we're hyping up all the way. And it may not be actually Smurfy coming in here. I think they're all playing on the same tag. So while we do have their names, we don't have hard confirmation which player this is, so I'm just going to stick with CSUMB.
Yep, getting right into the match, though, because, of course, no stocks were lost against Sora the Rob, so...
Ooh, I do like that side B, the way it's able to... Oh, they delayed the stage, but a little too long!
Really unfortunate there.
Yeah, forced SD by Sora. So much ledge pressure.
Oh, yep, you see him bringing out the pocket right there, already looking to get the gyro. Yep, you really got to make up for lost steam right there, though. I mean, losing the stock that early in the match is really unfortunate, but maybe he's got something in the back pocket, no pun intended, to take care of this.
Yeah, I mean, you see them threaten the gyro occasionally, but it's more just that anti-zoner zoning that you talked about. So as the Rob, they want to get that landing there, but Sora keeps getting caught by anti-airs, the up tilt, the up smash.
Oh,
but
no, and you're dead.
You need to get the stock off so early. That is why Rob is so powerful in these crew battles. You make one mistake, and that's the stock.
A single mistake of not air dodging at the exact perfect time when you're off stage, you know what I mean? That side B is just such a threatening tool.
Yeah, it certainly is. And now the gyro is pocketed again, but as we've seen, Sora's combo game is already formidable enough. As they get that nair, it pops them out. They're trying to go for the recovery again, but the recovery is covered by the Lloyd Rocket, so CSUMB's players able to get back to the stage.
Oh man, that was really scary. Almost lost another stock to the side B there, but was able to just get around it, threatening a bowling ball.
And now, they get caught by the laser.
Yep, and there we see that the pocket is not going to come into play against laser. This back there is probably going to kill, though, able to get at least one stock off before the end of the match. Now, like I said before, we've seen it happen. Maybe this villager can make some magic. Oh, almost going to catch the down air.
Yeah, not quite, though. Bopped out, though, again. I really like what we're seeing so far. The side B right at ledge. I love how they drift back with it. Kind of confusing Smurfy as they try and get up.
It's just so active, too, that you don't even really have to time when they're getting up. If they just get up into it at any point, it's going to hit. And this might be death. Yep.
Yeah. Even the quickest mash in the world, I don't think would have gotten them out of that one. I mean, air dodge, maybe, but that up smash was coming out immediately.
Yeah, I mean, once you reach a certain percent, that down throw might as well be a kill confirmed between up smash, up tilt, up air, just going regular up air. There's so many different ways you can guarantee you're going to get the kill off that up down throw.
Yes, right now, Sac State is holding a steady lead, 5 stocks to 3. And with Sora's Rob being the wall you need to clear to even get to Sac State's anchor, CSUMB, they got to put a lot of faith in their anchor. Now, I was doing some digging on the players before this match, and I saw they're all going to these locals. They're all getting some good placements, but T2 is probably up there. Probably this anchor. They are consistently getting top 4, but 4th place is not even like a good placing for them. They're like, I didn't get 2nd this time? Shucks. Well, I'll get them next time. Like, they're consistently in 50-person brackets getting all the way to 2nd place. They are getting there, and unfortunately, weren't able to quite figure out what character they were running, but I would expect that if anyone's coming in, it would most likely be T2.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, that's part of the excitement for me right now for how hyped up they've been just to see what character it is that's getting these results, because everybody in any ultimate bracket is good at this point. Even when you're playing your round 1s, your round 2s, you're not playing, people that don't know what they're doing. It's talented people the whole way through. So for him to be getting 2nd, 3rd, and then 4th to be like an off day for him is definitely extremely impressive. If I had to guess, this person's probably using the top tier.
Yeah, I mean, in general, the West is, I don't think there's any region that you can say is not competitive at this point in the metagame. I mean, even regions that were historically weaker, like my home region, Philadelphia, everyone used to look down on Philly. They're like, yeah, I'm going to Philly to farm. Now we've got like a couple like top 100 players coming out there. We've got players who are getting, top 20 in regionals, nationals. Even the formerly weakest regions are now coming out swinging in a big way. So the West is definitely one. I mean, the West has historically been very good at Smash Brothers all the way back to Melee. So a lot of high hopes here.
You really cannot sleep on any region. You see top players get flown out to various places all the time and get upset round 3 or round 4, and it's the the talk of town on Twitter for the next 2 weeks. And maybe it's a Steve player, and we get banned Steve, or we ban Kazuya for whatever reason. But really, no one is safe, no matter what region they're competing in. Everyone is good.
All I gotta say is all this panic over every Zero to Death DLC character that comes out, Luigi is slipping by very, very easily. Yeah, you called it. It's the top tier coming out. We don't know for sure if this is T2, but we do know the Joker from CSUMB is gonna be their anchor. Oh no!
Not another one right at the beginning of the match though. So hopefully they know to go on.
Oh, thanks, Nintendo. Now, I would imagine this roster is not entirely present for Rob. I mean, any character with good combo game is a little bit better against Arsene because you're able to actually beat the Arsene out of them. But with all of the hitbox shifting, how hard is it to actually get these infamous Rob combos on Joker?
Now, this one I really don't find to be as bad of a matchup. If you remember when Zachary was really in his Rob era, he used Rob against MK Leo a lot of the time to very great effect. And they would always have like these really close game 5 sets where Zachary would just lose in a heartbreaking way. But he seems to think that Rob does well in the matchup. I personally think one of the biggest boons is that you can kind of just run away from Arsene if you really don't want to engage. You know, you can just use your up B and literally just go to the top last zone and be like, I'm going to be up here for the next 15 seconds. And when I come down, you're going to have half the Arsene meter you did in the first place.
Yeah, the ability. We talked about all the mix-ups in recovery. Rob was the OG. I can do whatever mix-up I want. The fact that you're so actionable while you're in that up B state, and I mean, people are like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, he flies. Like, he literally is a character that can fly. He does everything he wants out of his up B.
Yeah, exactly. And again, people talk about, I've seen like Rob players are like, all you need to do is just learn how to edge guard booster. You got to learn how to time it out so you get that fuel out of there. And I'm like, how many times have you seen Rob run out of fuel? I have seen like 20-second aerial battles with a Jigglypuff off stage. And listen.
Oh, yeah. No, he definitely is stocked up on fuel. A lot of the times Robs are just lying to you. They want you to come out there so they can reversal you anyway. You know, you're trying to edge guard me. Maybe I'm going to jump side B, or I'm going to jump back air. I'm going to stage spike you. I like to have gyro in my hand when I'm recovering and then throw it up to be like, get away from me, or shoot a laser when people are coming at me to try and stage spike them off stage. But he definitely has a lot of reversal options. So the LOL just edge guard is not exactly the greatest advice, you know?
As LOL just edge guard is kind of a factor with Joker. I mean, tether recovery is infamously hard to get, especially Joker's. The fact that it is so much vertical distance is so hard to deal with. I mean, Joker can be in the blast zone and zoop, right back to the ledge. But if you're able to get him far enough from the ledge without a jump, he might just be dead. And that is the question. I feel like the ability to snipe the recovery with an option they may not see coming, like, let me think. What are some options that Rob has to snipe recoveries? Well, let's count the ways. You could either go out and actually hit them. You can throw the gyro from across the stage, which at a pretty angle you can get that. Throw the gyro up, that'll knock them out. Yeah, I mean,
there's laser, there's forward air, there's side B. The list goes on and on. And honestly, specific counterplay for tether recoveries is that you can Z drop the gyro while people are hanging on a tether, you know, and so it forces them to come up because they're going to get hit and they're not invincible while they're tethered, you know what I mean? And then you side B while they're coming up, so you have a couple different zones covered doing that. Rob honestly deals with tethers pretty well when it comes to edge guarding.
Yeah, and like that, people talk about zoning a lot in Ultimate, and again, everyone in the audience, like we said last time, in case you're just tuning in, we had a disconnect. We're trying to get it back into a game as soon as we can, so we thank you all for your patience as we try to figure this out. But anyways, again, the Kilo Miles Cadence podcast continues because I feel like Rob's ability, like the thing that makes Rob so good, because obviously Rob is big, Rob loses 30 mid-tier matchups, blah, 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 blah. I feel like that is kind of invalidated by the fact that how are you going to get these combo starters when Rob has pretty much unreactable ways to control so many like zones at once?
I mean, you know, it's a zoner, but once you get in on Rob, he's going to outbox you with his frame 3 down tilt or his frame 2 jab or his out of shield forward air, you know, like there are so many ways to where even once you get in on him, he's not scared. And in fact, he might be in advantage just by being up close to you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It was actually Sai. I know you've casted a lot with Sai before. Sai was the one who convinced me, who gave me a TED talk in between matches of why Rob is top 5. I'm still not sure if I quite put Rob in the top 5, but I understand now. The fact any character in this part of the metagame that can make up for their losing matchups that doesn't really have any walls in bracket, that that is definitely a character that I think can be in that top 10. Like, the only walls they might have, I mean, Zamba is like, oh, Aegis is a wall. There's nothing you can do against Aegis, despite having beaten many of the best Aegises in the world in the bracket. Yeah.
That really is the truth of the matter, is that he's got bad matchups, but they get mitigated by how easily Rob's able to secure a stock. You know, if you have a gyro while you're holding shield, touch your shield the wrong way and you can potentially lose your stock no matter what percent you're at. Or if you're off stage, you can get your jump sniped somehow and potentially lose your stock no matter what. Or as we saw in the villager match there, they decided not to air dodge the impending side B because they didn't react in time and they lost their stock in a millisecond at 50. Just so many ways to force the issue himself. So yeah, Rob is kind of busted, not gonna lie.
Very busted, and well, let's be honest, so is Joker, and we'll be able to get into that soon enough, as we are going to go to a very brief technical break. When we get back, we will be continuing and perhaps finishing Sac State versus CSUMB. Welcome back to Sac State versus CSUMB right here. It was initially, we did drop out in the beginning stages of that game, but the players have elected to let us restart so we can see what could be our final match, and the Joker did end up losing a stock right off the bat. So it's going to be CSUMB down a stock right here. 2 stocks left to keep them in this.
That was almost down another stock right there when he hit that gyro in air. Wasn't quite able to finish the 0 to death, unfortunately.
I do like that, laying on the ground to avoid the laser is now at this point. Ooh, Sora gets an opening. That could be big right here. They're just boxing out everything the CSUMB wants to do.
Ooh, Arson online, though, makes for a much different animal. I mean, this is really scary, but going to go for the down tilt chains and shield pressure. Is this going to... Oh, okay. Did not get the up there.
Just the constant pressure from Sora Cadence. It's so hard to deal with, smothering them. But CSUMB's players able to find an avenue out through these projectiles of their own, but now that Arsene is gone, they're not getting quite as much perch.
Yeah, exactly. That opportunity was kind of theirs for the taking, and wasn't quite able to get the stock off of Rob. Still able to get a lot of damage on the table, though, but might even have to wait for another Arsene activation before they can even kill Sora here.
Yeah, as, get around that, and playing under the platform here, very intelligent, especially as it lets you hang on long enough to get Arsene again. Here at ledge, they delay that get up attack so long to be able to hit the final stages of that side B. I love that. As at this point, CSUMB's player, with that dash attack, they might be able to get another stock off the board here. And if you're able to get a stock lead as Joker here, that could be huge. Forward tilt, not going to kill yet, but they go deep off stage. No? I like how they don't try an edge guard. We talked about that.
Yep, very smart.
Oh,
gyro into the laser, not going to quite kill. Joker's living to 200.
Against Rob.
Rob almost has a little bit of arthritis himself here, honestly, though.
I love that. They get the stage spike as well. The confidence that they have playing at this percent. They die to a stray nair, but how much extra percent they managed to tack on there. Catch the gyro as they go. CSUMB, they're heating up here on their last stock, but that might not be enough right now.
Yeah, really, they got to make this last stock count. You know, step 1 is getting this stock off of Rob before you lose your own at this percent. Honestly, you are at kill percent right now.
This. Jumping right back to ledge. You've got to be aware. We've seen Sora steal these stocks before, but I'm not sure that's going to be happening quite now with the way that CSUMB's player is going at it. Able to get the Rebels guard, and now you've got an Arsene here. One stray aerial will kill, but trying to go for these landing nairs is going to get you punished. Finally, the back air will connect.
Arsene back here definitely going to take the stock, no doubt about that. And now, not a terrible position here if the Joker can put on a lot of percent.
Yes. Get that back air, scoops them up, forward tilt, sends them out. I love this. With that Arsene, they were able to stack on an extra 60%, and they, with how long they lived before, a chance at another Arsene too if they get one Rebels guard. At this point, I like their chances, but they're still at a deficit.
Gyro at the edge is a tough situation, though.
Down smash covers everything. And now the side B, is that going to send out?
Good DI, excellent DI, honestly.
One Arsene deciding the fate of CSUMB. Can they make this work? The grab right here, the down throw. Is it just true? The mash out gets you right into an up smash, and that is it. In the first round of our round robin, it will be Sacramento State College who will be going on, getting a 1 point on the board in this round robin format, which is so crucial. Like we said, only one. 2 of these 3 teams are qualifying for the finals in Atlanta.
Yeah, if I had to guess, the Joker was probably mashing counter out of the grab, just the safest option to not get hit by whatever comes. But unfortunately, counter is not frame 1 because everyone would complain about that move if it were. And so Rob was just grabbed him at the right percent and was not able to do anything to escape that down throw up smash. Like we said earlier, it's basically a confirm once you get past a certain damage threshold.
Mm-hmm. And I do like how we talked about, you don't want to get too aggressive off stage, but once you get a read on their habits, then you can feel a little more comfortable going off stage. Like, we saw how they went for that lower recovery, and, well, Sora wasn't throwing out an aerial as they're rising as much. That's a mix-up that Rob's used time and time again to make sure anyone who dares go off stage against them is punished. That's not what we saw that much, and so I liked what we saw CSUMB doing there, going off stage, but the initial deficit that they had was too much to overcome in the end.
Yeah, so unfortunate for them, but it's not the end of the world in this round robin format. It's not like there's a loser's bracket to drop down to. If you win your next 2 matches, then you're looking at your stock record, your game record to determine who's the winner at that point. So definitely anyone's W still.
Yeah, definitely is. And we're going to be seeing even more of that round robin format as we're going to be getting into our next match soon enough. So don't go anywhere. The CECC West Invitational will be back soon enough. Welcome back, everybody, to the CECC West Invitational. We are here in our second match of the day. We're going to be seeing a new team come out here, Neumont, who we got to see yesterday, if you were tuning in then, against CSUMB once again.
Oh, and we're getting straight into it here with Terry versus Inkling. Not going to lie to you guys, I don't think I've seen this matchup play out before, so do you have any insight on it, Kill Miles?
I mean, right off the bat, if you're going to be playing grounded a lot, the roller becomes a lot less of a huge commitment and more of, okay, maybe this, like, the chance of connecting roller are higher, but the confirms that Inkling that Terry has cannot be denied. Oh!
Speaking of which, there's one right there, right off the edge at 100.
Yeah, Mamba right here opening up in a big way. Mamba is on this Terry against 9-10's Inkling. And, I mean, for me personally, the way Terry is what people wished Inkling was in the beginning, when people were like, oh, Inkling has all these awesome confirms. Terry will jab you and kill you at like
easily.
70.
And it's very hard to escape, and it's a very consistent confirm, honestly. Jab, jab, power dunk, or power geyser, anything really. And the go meter, which just came online, is much, much scarier than the rest of the time you're fighting against Terry here. We might see it come online right now.
Mm-hmm. And Terry just also doesn't move like a traditional Smash character. The way he has weird up and down diagonal moves, the way back shoot will get you in, or crack shoot rather. Like,
right.
There are just so many different ways that Terry moves, and they're not crazy mix-ups, but they're still enough to get you back to the ledges. They get that gimp right there. It's almost like, yeah.
If that was good, if that was intentional, that was such a good stage spike with up B, because I was thinking like, okay, he's got this edge guard on lock, but then Terry was still able to make it back with up B in that last little bit of Inkling's own up B, but then just going to come through with another one of those and just seal the deal right there. 2-1 right now for Neumont.
Right off of the invuln platform, they're still able to get that much damage, but I like that. Landing on platform and shielding, not overcommitting. Right now, 9-10 is keeping themselves in this. Another jab right now.
Yeah, and this is the first time that we've really seen a lot of ink on the Terry here, and it's already dissipated without really being able to get much percent on him.
Yeah, Terry's just kept them in disadvantage for so long, and these stray hits are not enough to shut down Neumont. The CSUMB, for the time being, they're trying to play this carefully, very carefully, but that landing back air is going to put you off stage again into a situation you really don't want to be as Inkling, where you need to play a pretty much perfect game.
Yeah, Mr. Terry is just looking for stocks right now. He's gone for that option at ledge quite a few times because he knows it got the last 2 stocks off. Why not keep going for it, right?
And
all
of your regular habits.
Why not keep going for it? Because he got all 3 stocks with that option.
That burning knuckle right there is going to be yet another stock. 8-6 right now in favor of Neumont, as CSUMB is in quite a pickle. if they end up losing here, they are down in terms of total set count, and that might be their entire chances gone. So with 9-10 falling, they're looking to find another answer to this Terry. And one thing I do want to say, we called it out, since we're probably going to have time between this character switch. I do know Inklings, like, they almost treated it like a shine spike, where, like, their up B off stage, it has that little hitbox that has a very weird angle. So you jump off and you have that little bit of invincibility when you up B. Oh, Inklings love to get that stage spike.
Yeah, no, it's such a sneaky little way to just get a stock in there off the edge guard like that. Like, I had already accepted that Terry made it back to stage, but then nope, like you said, just that little shine spark there at the end just to clean it up. Honestly, though, you can tell Terry is a character that not a lot of people have matchup experience against. He's got such strong options that there hasn't been a ton of, intentional counterplay be developed for, since he's not at the top of majors or anything like that. He's not really seen as a threat by a lot of people. So I think he kind of slips under the radar in that regard.
Yeah, it certainly does, as we're going to be seeing this Sora come out again. We saw this Sora do some work, able to get an initial lead for CSUMB last time. So against Mamba's Terry, we'll see if they're able to make that same magic work again.
Yeah, so just going to taunt and get right into it here. Okay, so Sora, of course, being floaty is probably going to make it harder to get those very long extended Terry combos, but the confirms are not going anywhere. Jab Jab, Power Dunk, Power Geyser is still going to be on the table.
Yeah, it definitely is. Using that landing mix-up to get back to center stage. And, I mean, any FGC character on Final Destination is a terrifying prospect. You lose a lot of your defensive options, but Sora does have the tools to keep Terry boxed out with disjoints and spells. It gets out of the Jab Jab Power Dunk into the immediate Sonic Blade, but it's not enough.
Yep, going for the Burning Knuckle again to force Sora off stage here. Oh, looks for the back air. A move you don't really see from the Shoto's FGC characters very often, considering the auto turnaround. Their back airs usually you just can't line it up, but very strong and meaty move. I'm going to get that stock off right there.
Yes, it is. And with Burning Knuckle again, they're able to get even more damage racking up right here for Neumont.
It's crazy to me that Jab Jab Power Dunk is a kill confirm, but it's also like Terry's low percent bread and butter combo. Like, he's going for this at 30%, he's going for this at 90% to kill, and it just works all the time. Oh, if that down air would have sweet spotted, that was his life.
This is all-purpose canola spray, and you're looking for even more of that towards the ledge right there, but now Go is online, so T2, you're keeping them all the way off stage. You don't want to contend with that in the slightest. Is that shield pressure? No! They're able to get out of that so consistently right now, using a combination of defense and Sora's lightweight.
Oh yeah, see, that Power Dunk is getting them put into the lightning fairly often here. That's how he lost the last stock.
And with that disjointed hitbox, they're knocked away from the ledge. If you're not able to get this stock right here, that's going to be CSUMB with a size. This will be very good. But Neumont's still able to continue their lead right here in a big way.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to opt to just go for some spells right now, try and keep Terry out, because you're definitely losing in the close-up match here.
This could just be Neumont running away with this.
Oh my lord.
CSUMB isn't able to do anything. Oh, it's getting
so
really
much
dicey.
Damage, yeah. Honestly, at this point, any 1 or 2 more hits and you're at kill percent is Sora right now, so definitely very scary.
Is using that Burnal Knuckle as a landing mix-up, not entirely safe, but clearly CSUMB was not ready for it. Here at ledge, one down tilt is your death, and they knew that immediate shield.
Yeah, just gonna go for it again. Oh my gosh, and then Power Dunk his way to victory right over the Thunder that time.
Yeah, we talked about that before, how that Power Dunk was getting you caught in the Thunder repeatedly. But this time we saw Mamba mix up how they were using that Power Dunk, going way high above the Thunder, and you're in so much lag from it that the Thundaga gets you killed, and that will be that stock. 7-3 right now.
Yeah.
That is
not really looking good for CSUMB, right? Kind of getting run away on right now. So hopefully the final person, was it the Joker last time that they had? So hopefully he has some Terry matchup knowledge and then has matchup knowledge on whatever other 2 characters we end up seeing after that, if he's able to get that far.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel that they will be able to get some work done. However, it's not a guarantee. It's definitely not a guarantee coming in here. We didn't see Sac State uh and Neumont play yesterday, so I have a little bit more of an idea of what could be coming down the barrel. But if you're not even able to clear this Terry, the Terry is the main threat. You got to focus on the opponent in front of you, not a couple chairs back.
Right, you have to walk before you can run, and right now walking is getting this Terry off the screen. So we'll see if they'll be able to accomplish that with their anchor person here, the Joker player.
Yeah, most likely the Joker. And, well, playing this matchup, I mean, on theory, I feel like Joker wins. The fact that you're able to keep Terry at a distance, and also when Joker gets an opening with a landing air, with even a down air ledge trap, you're able to convert it into so much. And down guns in particular, I didn't even think of that. Down guns might make this matchup go from, 55-45 to 6-4, 7-3, just like that.
That's what I was going to say, as well as the down guns is going to make it so much easier to get out of disadvantage as Joker. You don't have to worry about getting clipped by power dunk, the tilts into all these confirms. You can just land for free with your own little hitbox and have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you can. As they're looking to get into that soon enough, they're taking their very careful time to get these stage bans underway. In general, I feel like you want to avoid as many of the...
Oh, actually, okay. Captain Falcon instead. So forget everything we said. This is a manly man match right now.
Yeah, and just closing the distance, a very small stage, and oftentimes, I'm never entirely sure how I feel about that, but I do like this. You don't want that Terry playing that spacing game. You want to get right in their face, and Terry wants you there too. But whoever this Falcon is confident in their ability to make this work. But
yeah, pretty clear that neither of these characters are going to be camping each other at all. It's just going to be straight into the action. Both people holding forward, trying to get their combo starters off and kill you off of a single hit, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's what they're trying to do. The charge up smash. That's not a connect. I love this so much. The jab power dunk. It's able to keep the shield pressure going. One stray hit could be enough, but to get a combo started. But already it looks like CSUMB's first stock could be gone. Going to the ledge there, an intelligent decision, and an opening with the Falcon kick. An opportunity right here for an edge trap, but committing with that down air is too much. The burning knuckle.
Once again, the burning knuckle. That is his certified favorite stock closer. He uses that to get 90% of the stocks we've seen. And I hate to keep talking about Wi-Fi here, but I do think that Captain Falcon struggles a little bit to play at the tempo he would normally want to in the Wi-Fi meta, because you're running around looking for options, doing nairs on shield, down air 2 frames, and that stuff is just much harder to pull off when you're working with a few frames of delay. So I respect him for even giving it the try right here, and he's putting in a pretty good effort as well.
Yeah, but getting clipped by that back air reversal right there is going to make this even harder. I love that little bit of nair shield pressure, but it's still not enough. Down tilt, is that enough? No. Captain Falcon is so heavy, but another dare.
No. Did not buffer the up B in time. That is so unfortunate. Really not how you want to see one of the final stocks potentially a CSUMB go down.
Yeah, as we're on the brink of possibly seeing a full sweep right here.
Oh, no, that's it.
Oh, no, they go too deep. CSUMB falls down. This was more just Neumont running away with it than CSUMB making too many mistakes. The fact that the Terry was so consistent in their combo game, the Mamba, they are coming out, proving themselves to be probably, one of the players to watch on Neumont. The fact that you're able to get through any team without dropping all 3 of your stocks, that is amazing.
Yeah, incredibly impressive for him to just solo an entire team by himself. Also, pretty unfortunate coming out from Asylum 14's end, though. I'm sure he didn't want that double down air to play out that way. If he got the stock, he would have been fine because that was the Terry's final stock, right? But since it did play out the way it did, going to drop his own stock, the final one of the team, in a very unfortunate fashion, and hand that win over to what was the name of that team again?
Yeah, that was Neumont right there.
To Neumont, thank you.
And again, Neumont, they've got quite a few different players. Their captain didn't even come out. I feel like Mamba is definitely one of their stronger players. Yesterday, we saw them end up 2-stocking Sora's Rob, which is, you saw Sora. They're nothing to be scoffed at. So I'm excited to see how these players end up panning out as we're going to a brief break soon enough. When we return, we're going to be seeing the final match of this round robin format, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be seeing which two teams qualify for the CECC Atlanta Championships right after this quick break. Welcome back, everybody, to the CECC West Invitational. We are here with the final match of our round robin format. Winner of this wins the entire bracket. So Neumont and Sac State in this rematch are going to be going hard. And we're opening with two of the heaviest hitters. Sora on the Rob versus Mamba's Terry, who just OCV'd the other team.
Yeah, you just mentioned earlier that Sora the Rob actually got two-stocked by this Terry yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Sora's got some matchup notes written down, some adjustments to be made here for this run back, because otherwise I doubt they would just send him straight in, assuming they know that Terry's coming up first as well.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a vendetta. And we talked about... You talked about any character that can just keep Rob in disadvantage is a very hard matchup, and Terry isn't always that, but two disadvantage states against Terry, and Rob is probably dead.
Easily. And gonna see that auto turnaround be something difficult to deal with as well, because Robs will like to get behind you on your shield and then start down tilting, so you don't really have as many good options behind you. But a character like Terry is just gonna turn around immediately and still get a down tilt of his own, like we just see there. And I think that poked. I actually think that poked his shield.
Yeah, Sora did not get the angle right there, and now you're going to be down a stock, and Go is online, so they really wanted that side B, but now you've got to deal with Go, but they roll right on through that Buster Wolf.
Yeah, perfect timing on that roll, because that was going to be 1,000,000%, and the follow-ups could have led to death as well.
Yes. Oh, they force them
Down
into the
air?
corner again.
Yep.
And they make it back. Yeah, that disjoint. Oh, that hurts.
Right through the ledge of PS2.
Yeah, it's juicy, but the jab power dunk knocks the gyro straight out of their hands. And now we can see, once again, Sora being boxed into this corner, but they're definitely looking a lot more aware than they were yesterday.
Yeah, I respect Sora after getting jab power dunked on his shield. He just held shield the whole time and then didn't even go for a punish afterwards. He just rolled out of the corner. It was like, okay, I'm going to let you do your thing. I'm going to take stage positioning, and we'll talk here in a second.
Yeah, Sora looking so much more prepared today, and that is coming in a big way, because, again, we didn't even get to see the rest of Neumont. So if you're able to get this crucial advantage now, Sac State could be stamping their ticket to a big old prize pot.
Yeah, Gyro was buying Sora some time there to get back from the edge as the Terry Mamba was trying to get just to center stage, and Gyro kept saying no, no, no. Up tilt, not going to get the up air, able to jump out in time, but going to go for side B, a little over committal because he could have punished that landing otherwise, but the back air is still going to clean it up.
And with that back air, Sora takes the lead, and Neumont, they're on the verge of gasp, trying to pull out another player besides Mamba. It's unheard of right now.
I'm excited to finally see who else is on their team.
But Mamba might have something to say about that, as they do get that jet power dunk at ledge, kind of confirm on Sora. But the up air start the juggles.
Yep, jab power dunk, that kill confirm / combo starter / combo ender / anything you need it to be. Going for another power dunk in the middle of the stage there.
Yeah, and take a look at this. I love the way preemptive options from Mamba are stuffing out a lot of these nairs, because nair is amazing, but it does take a second to come out.
Yeah, a big thing with Rob is if you're nairing into people, you're going to have a little bit harder of a time. It's going to be less safe. You really want the very tip of the nair to be hitting people's shield to actually get that -3 that it's hyped up to be. So retreating nairs are more so what you're looking for, but then those don't combo start as hard. So at early percent, you kind of have to get in there a little bit more dangerously. Down tilt into the what, okay?
Look at this. That disadvantage state. They get the air dodge through that up air, but it's still going to be a deficit right here. Go is now online.
Ooh,
they get
wow.
Jab landing, jab power dunk, not going to kill yet.
Rob up smash is incredibly fast out of shield, and he still could not punish that power dunk on shield with an up smash. That's kind of crazy to me. I would have gone for the same thing. That might be it, though. Oh, nope. Actually, great DI on that move that we were talking about before being infamously hard to DI.
Yes. It's getting so close for them.
Yeah, this is really scary, especially with go meter on the table right now. I mean, you really just want to keep leaning back and shooting your projectiles as Rob. Like, at this point, he's accepted he's not punishing power dunk, and he's just hanging back when it happens. It's essentially a bait from Mamba at this point when he power dunks.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh.
Again.
That move is OP, apparently.
Yeah, I don't blame them. They were going for a gyro setup right there, and I guess they were assuming that it was just going to hit, but no. The tricky movement from Mamba is going to get that stock off, and Mamba once again wins their rerun against Sora, but not without bleeding. Not without
Yeah.
bleeding at all. I mean, this was already so close.
Just really showing off the strengths of Terry there. That power dunk takes up so much space, and it's at such a weird angle coming up to the right and then down to the left, or vice versa, to where it's like really hard to avoid, because a lot of things you're starting with, Robert, with a falling nair, right? So you jump and then fall with that nair, and power dunk's going to catch you on the way up when you start the nair, and it's going to catch you up on the way down too when you land. So honestly, pretty good counterplay to Rob in general, just to go for power dunk over and over, and we saw it really work out.
Yeah, and when you fall back and commit on those in the projectile warfare, it's only a matter of time before there is one slip up. And when you're at that high percent, that one slip up is just death. Terry's kill power is unmatched, and Mamba, with the way Mamba moves, I mean, we've seen there are a lot of Terrys out there who are B button enjoyers, but the way Mamba moves with their B buttons, they're able to use that crack shoot, able to use the power dunk as actual movement options that get around people's traditional ideas of how a platform fighter character should move.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because in the last set we just saw Mamba play, and he was using a lot of the burning knuckle at the ledge to seal his stocks, right? But this time it was a lot more power dunk oriented. So it's very clear that he knows which tools are better in which matchups, which is pretty impressive in the mark of a very versed player of their character.
Yes, again, we need to stress that whoever wins this match will end up winning the round robin bracket. Now, I believe both these teams have already qualified, but that don't matter. Just because you've qualified, you still can get even more money by getting first place in this bracket. And so, both these teams fighting hard to win that prize pool for their schools, but, for them too. You want a little pocket change?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people fight for their lives over a free tournament where there's no prize pot. They just want the recognition of saying that they got the W, and they want their name first place, So a lot of people, even if money's not on the line, which it is, pride is still on the line as well, which is a big deciding factor for a lot of competitors.
Yes, certainly is. As thinking carefully about who this next player is going to be. We've seen a lot of Sac State's roster, and it's going to be Robin coming out here. I knew they had this yesterday. Omar, I'm not sure if that is their official tag, but we'll stick to that for now.
I consider this an interesting choice, honestly. Just with Robin's notoriously slow ground speed, I think they might find a hard time getting away from all of Terry's buttons and get a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, we did see a little bit of a struggle for Mamba dealing with projectiles earlier, but it was only a temporary measure. So you got to get in and scrap eventually, using that disjoint, the Levin sword, to make sure they think twice about entering your threat range.
Okay, but gets grabbed once and immediately takes 43. So Terry, you really do not want to interact with him in this matchup. Just trying to zone him out as hard as you can with, like you said, your huge aerials on Levin sword, and then once those disappear, you're going to want to just shoot projectiles until it's back online.
Yes, they get forced right on out of there. Avoids that dash attack as well. Right here, Omar. This ledge could be where it's all decided. That Nair catches their jump, fully read by them.
Yeah, Levin aerials can be so hard to deal with, honestly. Rising fair, landing Nair is something that a lot of Robin players like to do, and that's just so hard to get in on because of how humongous and strong the hitboxes are.
And look at this. Mamba already looking to continue that lead that they built. I mean, they already did. It's already going to be 6-5 minimum, but if Omar is unable to find another stock right here, that could be huge for them.
Yeah, Mamba looking like the MVP today, easily. Soloing the last team by himself, and now he's about to take, 5 stocks so far on his own?
I mean, he's on the warpath to do just that, as right now, Mamba, they just go for the hard up smash read. They get caught by 11 sword instead, but now Go is online. Land with the power dunk, but there's not enough lag on that to get that up smash punish. Omar keeps Mamba at the ledge. They're able to get the jump off, but finally the Thoron will finish them. Only 4 stocks for you.
Robin ledge trapping is a very tough beast between the arc fire at ledge. If you pick any option other than roll, you're getting smash attacked. But then if you do pick roll and the Robin elects for Thoron, like we saw right there, just about everything's covered. At that point, it just comes down to when you choose your option as opposed to what option you choose. So, got to wait for Robin to throw all her stuff at you and then stand up afterwards, I suppose. Going to definitely fall for that trap, though. Great awareness from the Robin player, Omar, to go for such a trap.
Yeah, that was honestly fantastic. And from what we saw right there, it does look like Neumont, they put a lot of faith in that for a reason. And it makes me wonder, because I didn't get to see the full set yesterday, if it is the sort of thing where Neumont, they put their strongest player first, they use them as a battering ram to get through everyone, or if they still have more killers left under their belt. I mean, they did put on a very respectable show yesterday. Not just respectable, they ended up winning. And Sac State, after that win, they're looking to see how they can make this more even again.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone on Neumont's roster is to the same caliber as the Terry we just saw, that washed an entire team and then got 4 stocks into this crew, then I think that Neumont is sitting in a very good position to take today.
Yeah, they definitely are. And thinking about it, Omar, I did like the way that even though they got smacked around quite a bit, lost their first stock, almost lost their second, they didn't lose their composure. Like, sometimes all you need to do, like, I think of it almost like a rhythm game where you're waiting for your one moment. You're waiting for a tech chase or a grab or a ledge trap scenario, and then it clicks, and you're like, okay, all I need to do is do this thing I practiced 1,000 times, and I can get this. And they don't let their snowballing mentality get to them. No, Omar was able to set up a simple, consistent ledge trap and get that stock. And that right there shows that they do have the resolve to maybe make this an even scoreline for Sac State.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm staring down the barrel of a Terry with Go when I'm in a crew battle like this, I'm definitely not keeping my composure that well. And that really is just a testament to how strong Omar's mentality is, right? Because so many characters can just hit you with something like that, and you lose your stock no matter what percent. Does not even matter what your percent is. So excellent composure coming out for sure from Omar. I'm sure we'll see that playing a role in the coming matches.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there, as it looks like, they're actually going to be pulling out a sub. Neumont maybe showing us something we haven't seen before. It's going to be Monty coming in right here for them, and I am excited to see what they're bringing in because, I mean, Neumont, they've already shown incredible versatility, incredible depth, and if they've got one more sub, one more mix-up right here for the side of Sac State, that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how this is a repeat match from yesterday. Assuming it's a sub, they probably weren't involved in the match yesterday, so this is going to be new territory for both teams.
And we ended up going to FD right here. Not a lot of teams start out on Final Destination, but between the Terry and the fact that they are constantly getting this counter pick to FD, I'm not shocked to see it, as it's going to be the Nest coming out against this Robin, which I have to assume is a pretty good matchup.
Now, this makes a lot of sense as a counter pick because, all of Robin's energy-based projectiles are just free reign for a Nest energy absorption. Going to heal a lot of damage off of that. Healing is something that becomes even more impactful in a crew battle, right? Because you're really trying to preserve each stock. And not even to mention, the most menacing thing about Ness is his smash attacks at ledge. Those up and down smashes, if you're off stage without a jump, you really have nothing to do about it.
Yeah, nothing at all. So trying to space these projectiles, use that little bit of disjoint you have to get around that PSI, but it's not enough. Getting caught by the PK fire into consistent grabs right here.
Yep. Already
Monty doesn't
looking
try
for
and
that
chain
smash attack.
Ooh. Yeah,
And here's an edge guard attempt. Uh-oh.
Ooh. That's
Big
the
read
wrong
coming
smash
out.
attack, but it still almost got the stock. But I love that. The preemptive arc fire to get rid of that yo-yo is going to be there, as the Nosferatu evens things up.
Yeah, speaking of healing effects, we didn't even talk about Robin's very own healing effect. It comes up a little bit less often, but no less strong of an option.
Yeah, any command grab. Oh! That's
There
the
it
Nest
is.
classic right there.
Yep, that is a free confirm for Robin, the arc fire into a smash attack, and you can kiss your stock goodbye at 60. Look, goes for it again.
Ooh, they get
Pretty
it again.
close to the blast zone at 40% right there.
Yeah, right now, Omar is showing that ledge trapping is their forte. Beyond their forte, Omar, their ledge trapping is almost untouchable. I mean, anytime Scruffy goes at ledge, they're taking 40% minimum.
Didn't quite space the yo-yo right there to where it was hanging over the ledge. I think that would have been a guaranteed stock if they had.
Yeah, certainly
Oh,
could have
shield
been as
break!
they get the shield break, and that is already a lead right now. Sac State showing what they have got as Monty in this, what we said could have been a very favorable matchup. Already 44% right here. This is huge, and even though you're out of durability on a lot of these options, still, Omar holds on.
Yeah, Omar went in for a second there, taking the stock and then immediately putting on 44 more percent. And I'm still thinking about that shield break. Robin down smash does so much shield damage, way more than you would ever anticipate. If I were the Nest, I thought my shield was safe too there. So I'm gonna try and make up for lost time right here with the PK fire into a fair, into an up B, chasing them down.
Yeah, but ooh, they're gonna survive for the time being. Ooh, the Darkfire doesn't connect. They go for that PK flash. An even game right here as Monty has found a way to even this out. Ooh, popped up in the air by that jab. Can they get any more? They get the healing right there, but as they go into punish, Omar isn't able to get anything.
Yep, didn't have 11 sword right there, so could not get the kill confirm off the arc fire, but still pretty good damage. And this is a scary position to be in regardless. Wow, going for a big F smash is Ness.
Oh, and they're actually able to get up attack straight through that yo-yo. They're able to snap to ledge.
Yeah,
This
that
is
is
where it gets scary. They
great
run right
counterplay.
through that.
Oh my gosh, this is a scary position. Both players just trying to hold on to their stock, but
Ooh.
of course, the huge hitbox of Levin neutral air are going to take it out. That move is very hard to get around. I know Robin isn't an incredibly common character, but those that know, Robin Nair is BS.
And now, after an insane performance by Mamba in both this game and the last, it is going to be Omar completely making up for that, as Sac State now holds a 4-3 lead. Sac State on the verge of getting this run back right now, and that is a lot of money on this one crew battle right now, Caden. So you've got to put a lot of faith in this anchor right now. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that the mid-tier character, or even considered by some to be low tier of Robin, would be the hero of Sac State right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So
speaking of the hero, yesterday the anchor was a hero player by the name of Ultima 7, who is also the one communicating it with us, so it may be possibly their captain. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ultima 7 come out as the anchor once again, though based on how they used Monty right there, I feel like Neumont, they want to go for more mix-ups. They don't want Sac State to know exactly what they're coming up against.
But then on the other hand, if you're really feeling like leaning into the RNG, Hero can just make up whatever he wants to do. He can really make your day in a crew battle scenario, honestly. Let's say a whack comes up at 30, whack comes up at 70, magic burst on the next stock. Like, he genuinely can just spin the wheel and perhaps win the crew battle for them if he pulls out Hero.
Yeah. But if you have to take 4 stocks, you might want to go for more of that consistency. And
I would
that
agree.
hero can do. With the tools like Retreating Thunder, you're able, or Zap rather, Retreating Zap, you're able to actually use that charge shot. I mean, a lot of people forget Hero even has a charge shot. No, and it's an amazing multi-hit charge shot at that. Hero does have great tools without even rolling the dice. Like, he's a B+ tier, A tier when he's played normally, and then you add in RNG and he can shoot up and down that tier list wherever he wants.
Yeah, and I mean, when you do add that RNG into a Wi-Fi scenario as well, I hate to keep bringing it up, but the extra frames that you can't react to truly do matter in situations like these, because you're reacting not only to what Hero's animation is, but you're trying to react to the little text box in the corner of the screen to see what spell he's even casting right now, right? So those extra few frames are going to really be to Hero's benefit at that point, because he has a lot more time to where he knows what he's doing before you do.
Yeah, as it looks like we have our players locked in. They're all R, and we are getting into this right now. What could be the final match? It is going to be Ultima 7 on that Hero taking on Omar's Robin. All you need is 1 stock off this Robin right now.
Yeah, 1 stock should be a pretty easy feat, but if the Robin's able to put up the wall they were the last game, then who knows? Maybe they'll just take this whole thing.
Right away off the edge, and here we go.
Gonna
Omar
do a
trying to hold
taunt
on
and
to
get
the
right
one
into
stock.
it.
Oh, and immediately just run in with that jab. I like the way they're playing this range game. And you get hit by a thunder? No, I didn't. Nuh-uh. You didn't see that?
Yeah, he is sending out the spells right now. Strong lead right now, 82% to 13. Honestly, both these characters kind of have a sort of similar game plan between the energy projectiles and just walling you out with sword aerials. Kind of interesting to see it play out.
It's also the durability. Look at this. Now you don't have any sort of MP, so you've got to get in there and scrap. Well, Omar has not quite run out of durability on many of their tools. Here at the ledge, though, they're able to get bounce online. That's so crucial. It's going to become so much more scrappy.
Bounce going to cause some big issues for Omar here. Going to have to rely on his 11 aerials and no B buttons at all, really. Okay, it's offline now, though.
And the Xapple getting right through there. Already. Oh! Get caught by that backer. I get scared anytime I see 11 sword hit. That chunky hit.
And if you're Omar, you want to at least clean up one stock before you go, and he just is just that right now.
Yep, already a sizable advantage for Omar. Even as you fall to just a stray forward air, maybe trying to get the dash away and DIing out. Either way, that will be stock and a 3-2 scoreline right now. One more anchor for Sac State against Ultima 7 for Neumont.
He said, okay, I put the hero at 2 stocks. I did my job. I'm leaving it up to our anchor to take care of the rest.
And, well, this is already looking way better for Sac State than we saw yesterday. Even though Ultima 7 was looking pretty strong on that hero, they only had to take 1 stock yesterday when they came in. 1 stock. Now they've got to take 3 stocks while only having 2. What a difference. What a different path we have taken through this set compared to yesterday. And Neumont is sitting there scratching their heads trying to figure out, because this isn't a terrible scenario to be in. Many crew battles end in this exact place, but you've got to keep your head on your shoulders right now. Even if you're not having the same insurmountable lead that you had last time, Neumont can still make this work for them.
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, this is still anyone's game to take, because at any given point, if hero goes for thwack or whack enough during the course of a game, it's going to hit eventually. So we might as well call it 3 stocks to 2. It may as well be 2 stocks to 2. Just throw 1 stock away to hero RNG, count yourself at 2 to 2. I see this being a pretty even match. Anyone can still take it in my eyes.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you right there. This could go down to the wire, or could be a runaway situation. I'm excited to see who they will be sending in now. Coming in. Ooh, let's see. Just checking in on what the players are talking about. Okay, it didn't look like they quite announced the player, but they've already picked. It's going to PS2. Where else could we end it? 3 stocks for the side of Sac State. 2 stocks for the side of Neumont. 1 more game to decide it all. And it's going to be Jami. They dropped the Marth going onto the Lucina.
Very interesting, honestly. I think that Pokemon Stadium is going to be more to the benefit of Hero than Lucina, just because of how wide the stage is, how much room our hero friend is going to have to work with. He can really just sit on the other side of the stage with menu open and zone you as hard as he can, because Lucina cannot do anything until she's within range of hitting your shield. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely get that, but I like this Lucina coming out. We talked about the consistency right here. The fact that Lucina is just so many more kill confirms than Marth, with the down tilt, down smash, and like single hit nair. Like, there are so many different tools you can employ. As out of hit stun, they just throw out that up air to reverse that situation when it looked like maybe it was Ultima 7 getting an edge. Sac State poised to maybe take this.
Yeah, taking advantage of Hero's pretty mediocre disadvantage right now. If the hero player has no access to something like Zoom, where you go up to the top corner of the stage, his disadvantage and landing options are pretty few and far between.
And now you get the grab. This is looking very good for Sudden Jami, but you've got to be aware of how easily the situation could turn on its head.
Yes, 1 thwack, 1 whack, 1 magic burst, 1 oomph. The list goes on and on and on, and this could be a very scary situation. But just going to keep applying, safe pressure, get your nickel and dime damage here and there, start the ledge trap situations again.
Yeah, I love this pressure right here. Side B puts them off ledge again. This could be it, a 3-stock right now. This is the exact situation Sac State had to deal with yesterday. How does it feel, Neumont? Because Neumont, after getting that win earlier, this is showing adaptation for Sac State.
Yeah, this is Sac State's time to strike right now. His MP is only 18, so you really know you're not going to have to deal with much menu shenanigans.
Yeah, forward air sets up for another edge situation. Sudden Jami, they wait, but they don't get caught up in that. The bang goes out, forces a high recovery right now from Sudden Jami. ooh, the oomph coming out. An opportunity, but just an upbeat out of shield. And they catch the cross up too, crucially. That could have caught a lot of players off guard, but not Sudden Jami, not Sac State. Coming back, winning the run back, and Sac State winning the round robin bracket is going to be your winner of the CECC West Invitational.
Yeah, big congratulations to Sacramento State right there, and a really clutch upbeat out of shield coming from Jami, just knowing that as soon as you touch my shield with that aerial, it is unsafe. You crossed me up, so now you're even closer to the blast zone. I am more than happy to let this rip and send you straight to the blast zone.
Yeah, really good stuff. I loved how much Sac State adapted from seeing how Sora was able to overcome that Terry matchup and make it go down to last hit, last stock, to seeing the consistency, dropping the Marth, going to the Lucina, knowing that you have both those tools in your back pocket, though I'll be honest, I did love to see the Marth. So many awesome storylines coming out for Sac State. And to wrap up all that, we are going to go to a brief break. When we get back, it's going to be Paulie coming back to wrap up this whole night. But for now, I have been Keela Miles. This has been Cadence Pika, but we may actually have a little bit more as we're just getting this figured out as we're getting this coming in towards the end. As again, turning back to this matchup, how do you feel about that adaptation we saw?
I mean, it was honestly impressive. There's nothing better than seeing a match that started out a blowout, the first set that people play, becoming a nail biter down to the wire. Anyone can win it set the second time, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, it was Neumont that got the W yesterday.
Yes, it was. And Neumont, like we said, they went down, and it was Mamba who built a massive lead, getting 2 stocks all over the place. But then it was only 1 stock. I think it was just who was it we saw last? It was just suddenly Jami coming out, who was able to preserve that. They only had 1 stock left, suddenly Jami, and it was Ultima 7 they came in. So that was actually a run back we saw, but it was on the other foot. Last time, it was Ultima 7 who had 3 stocks against suddenly Jami's 1. This time, it was suddenly Jami with 2 against Ultima 7's 3. That's such a massive difference that, sure, you played them before, but was it really that consistent?
I mean, you even see stuff like that play out at top levels sometimes. You know, you'll watch a Summit, Ultimate Summit, and MK Leo will lose to someone in their pools day 1, and then he'll come and win the whole bracket on day 3 and act like it never even happened. You know, like those day 1 events, those day 1 matches can just be information sometimes for those better players. They get the download on you and they say, okay, I know what went wrong during this lower stakes match. Now when the stakes are higher, I'm going to turn it up, and I'm not going to be slipping where I slipped yesterday.
And we can ask a lot more about how they fix those slip-ups, all about that adaptation, because we're going to go to a brief break. When we return, we're going to get an interview with Sac State. Welcome back, everybody. We are here after Sac State's victory with Sora from Sac State, that amazing Rob player we saw earlier. Sora, how you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good after watching all that. And the first thing I got to ask is about that adaptation. Yesterday, we did see your 2 teams face off, Neumont and Sac State, and Neumont came out on top, but this time you were able to bring that. So what was it like in between these 2 matches?
Well, for Neumont, it was really challenging with their Terry, of course, because the Terry has very good advantage states on my character. So I had to really take time to think from yesterday's when we played against them, and they played a lot better against me on that day. So it took time for me to look at videos, see what I can do, play a little better. Of course, they still took my stocks, but I was able to this time actually push them to make it close.
Yeah, I mean, being the first one to go in the crew battle can be stressful because you have to set the pace for your whole crew, right? And I'm sure that you were like, oh crap, this is the guy that took my stocks yesterday, so I got to shape up now.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I did make mistakes and stuff, but overall, still my team picked it up. They brought it home for the win, and I'm thankful to them.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, congratulations to you and your team, right? You navigated quite a few matchups that are like quote unquote rough for Rob today, right? How do you, what do you feel like was your hardest matchup to fight in today?
Hardest is actually the Terry.
Mhm.
The other matchups are actually fairly straightforward and very simple in terms of like my play style. Villager, as an example, that I went against for for the other team, they had a villager that, oh, he can take my gyro and then I can't use it. But at the same time, from doing that, I still have laser, and as well as I can still box as a character, as
Mhm.
villager can't really box. So I'm able to just push advantage and push the gap and push them off stage to then make it to force a mistake.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what you did. And in a big way, helping lead your team, though, again, like you said, it was not all you. Your team did a lot. So now, with this win, you and your team have qualified for CECC Atlanta. So that's my main thing I got to ask. How are you feeling about getting the chance to play in an in person bracket that you qualified for?
I feel honestly extremely excited and extremely happy, as well as like a lot of emotions, because I haven't played in really an in person. The last time I've played an in person tournament, a big tournament, was back at the original Evo in 2019.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
So before then, I haven't played an in person really. I've played one local, but besides that, I've been also everything online, and how, if you know, like, difference between online and offline for
Oh, yeah.
characters is astronomical. So like matchups change, tier lists can change on what characters are better or worse. So I feel a lot better going into offline, because then you'll see a lot more, not just my team, but like any team as well. You'll see a lot more of their potential and what they can do.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we
that's
can. Yep, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was just saying that's very impressive that you've been a Wi-Fi warrior for going on 3 years at this point, right? Because it's like we all say pretty much like the training weights come off in Ultimate when you're offline, right? Because you deal with so many frames of input delay plus just terrible connections on Switch in general. So I salute you for putting up with Smash Ultimate Wi-Fi for going on 3 years now.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough, but I'm glad with COVID coming to an end, by the looks of it, that a lot more in-person tournaments are going on, and I'll be able to also go out and do these offline events that I haven't done in a long time.
Yeah, and we can't wait to see you there. It's going to be fantastic. But for now, again, congrats on this win. Thank you for your time and good luck at all those in person events.
Thank you so much.
It was really a pleasure watching you today.
Yeah, and with that, we are going to be completely wrapping up here, but we're not going to be doing all the wrapping up. We're going to be going over to Pauly Hype now to wrap us up, bring us all the way home here at the end of CECC West Invitational.
Thank you so much, Miles and Cadence Pika. You guys did a fantastic job commentating Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That was some hype stuff. Hype approved, if you will. But, like always, we've only just begun, but the weekend also has to come to an end. So day 2 of the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup West Invitational has been fantastic. Let's take a quick rundown at the schools that qualified per game real quick for CECC Atlanta 2022. So for Rocket League, it's going to be the University of Colorado Boulder. They have officially been invited to CECC Atlanta. Sacramento State for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. You guys have officially been invited to CECC Atlanta here on behalf of Esports U and CSMG. University California of San Diego for Overwatch. Your team has officially been invited to CECC Atlanta. And once again, San Jose State University for Valorant. Your team has been invited for CECC Atlanta. So the bids are in. You guys saw all the action, all the competition. We have had an amazing weekend so far. Thank you to all the casters, players, production, TOs, schools, universities that have taken part in CECC West Invitational starting tomorrow. That's right, tomorrow, Monday through Friday, we have the next Invitational, which will be the Mid-Atlantic. That'll be starting tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST right here on twitch.tv/esportsu. Without further ado, my name is Paulie Hype. That's going to do it for CECC West Invitational. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. EST sharp for the Mid-Atlantic. Thank you all for watching. On behalf of EA Sports U, the Collegiate Sports Management Group, and all of our partner conferences, we'll see you next time for Collegiate Esports right here in the home, College Esports. See you next time.